My name is Ian Kelly. I've been a member of the parish for 88 years, more years than I care to remember, I guess. So the only years that I was away from Warwick was in my 20s and early 30s when I returned to Warwick, and have been here ever since. Probably my first memories of the church would be my first communion. I was 7 years of age at that time, a little bit different setup to what it is now, but it was still probably the major milestone of one's spiritual life, and still an important milestone in my life, I guess. So the church has certainly made us mark from a very early stage. The other notable time was after my wife and I were married. We had 18 months living in Toowoomba when our first and only daughter was born in Toowoomba, and we came to Warwick to have her baptised. So that was another major milestone. I guess the other milestones more relating back to my early days in the church was becoming an altar boy. That was a very significant part of my life, and being introduced to the Latin language, which always stuck by me, I guess, because when I got into secondary school, 4 years of secondary school, Latin turned out to be my best subject. As an adult, and after Vatican II, my older boy days were reintroduced a little bit in that we were able to then be readers and ministers of the Eucharist and leaders of lay-led liturgy when a priest wasn't available. So the involvement of the older boy grew into an involvement as a reader and minister of the Eucharist, etc. So all those were great memories to have, to look back on. The connection goes back a long way. My forebears were the first owners of the land that the old church was built on. This occurred in 1859, at the time Queensland became a state, and the land was open for sale by the state, then new state government, and I think it may have been planned by some potential parishioners, because there was no parish as such and no priest certainly, and they must have formed a group to buy land along Percy Street from Parliament to Acacia Avenue, and then up to the site of the old church. And they owned that land for a year or two when the church bought them all on the same day for the same price, and then it wasn't too much longer after that that a priest was appointed to Warwick, and at least he had land to build a school and build a church, and that's what happened. The first part of the old church was built in the 1860s, and then it was extended I think in the 1880s. A lot of family marriages and baptisms and etc. Receiving of sacraments has taken place over a couple of centuries, and a lot of my family have been married in the old church, but my parents were married in the new church because it was after 1926. I think it was about 32. So a lot of history there. As far as the building goes, I see it as a complete entity rather than anything in any aspect in particular. and I'm particularly pleased with the restoration work that has been carried on in more recent time. It has been very effective, and I think the church will be good for another 100 years. In conclusion, I consider the church to be the centre of our parish community, as it has always been. A place of peace and harmony, ideal for prayer and hearing God's word, and the spirit of sharing the friendship of community.